Okay, what's going on? So if you are on the internet at all, I'm sure this morning you probably saw that they dropped the first teaser trailer for James Gunn's new Superman movie that sort of starts off the whole new DC universe that they're making. I woke up and saw it. I was very excited for it. The teaser for the teaser, which is, I know everyone says this, but it's really weird that we got a teaser for the teaser. It kind of had me skeptical. I texted a friend and I was like, the Superman teaser looks interesting. I was just really skeptical about it. And I woke up this morning and I saw the actual trailer on YouTube and I was like, okay, whew, okay, let's see what's going on here. And I watched it and I know the internet is split a lot on this movie right now, but in my personal opinion, I'm I'm really excited for it and I really really like what I saw. And I'm going to explain why because I know that that's not the most popular opinion to have. I know a lot of people have been complaining about just the whole tone of the film. The visuals is something I've seen. Those are actually the two things I want to talk about the most, and why the tone and the visuals of the film actually make me the most excited and actually fill me with hope for the future of movies like this. So first of all, I just want to talk about the cinematography because the cinematography that I saw in this film actually makes me really excited. Now I have to say this: you can tell that it's definitely shot in a wide-angle lens, and I watched a video today where I'm pretty sure the film is actually shot in. It's a very specific type of lens. I forget the name, but it's pretty much a lens that has both like it's a 16 millimeter lens, an 18 millimeter lens, and a 21 mil, all in one lens, and you can just kind of switch between them. It's got that wide angle look that's sort of become popular. I first noticed it a lot in the newest Hunger Games movie that came out, and I'm not crazy about it. I did make a whole video about the whole wide angle thing. I'm not crazy about it, but other than the wide angle stuff, all the other cinematography, I think it looks really good. A lot of people have been saying that it looks, a lot of the exterior scenes look bad, the lighting looks really bad, but in my opinion it looks very raw and very real, and it makes me excited because I feel like the cinematography of this film, just from what we can see in the teaser, is sort of challenging this the current filmmaking quota where it's like this very clean. I always say that a lot of movies now look like Toyota commercials. That's like sort of my line. They look very manufactured, very bland. There's not a very strong color grade to them, just very flat, very boring. And this film, the trailer, the color grade, I mean, of course, it just boils down to personal preference, but in my opinion, I like it. Maybe I would have done something different, but it looks interesting and it's stylized, and you can tell that the director had a vision for a movie, how the movie was supposed to look, and went for that look. The studio wasn't just bearing over him, being like, it's got to be like this, it's got to fit into this box. You can tell that the director and the cinematographer worked together, had a vision, and put together a very unique looking film. And that's what I got from this. At first, I kind of had to watch it a couple times because I was like, it looks odd. But the more I went back and watched it, I mean, it's got text. Like the first thing I noticed is in the opening scene in the trailer, there's just like this beautiful grain. There's like this weird. The highlights are kind of blown out. There's like a halation in the highlights. It's like sort of got that vintage like glow to it almost. It's very contrasty. It's very like saturated, and I think it just looks very beautiful. Even if it's not just like this sort of picture perfect image, it's unique and it's raw, and I absolutely I adore that, and it actually makes me really excited for the future because we're finally starting to see cinematographers and directors sort of break loose from this sort of this norm that we've created with films, like I was saying, where they just look bland and everything, and they're really starting to go for something interesting and new, which I'm just like really excited for. Then the tone of a lot of people are complaining about the tone of the film and how it seems really goofy, and I think a lot of people are trying to they're comparing it to Man of Steel, and I'm not like a avid Man of Steel hater, but I'm also not like an avid Man of Steel lover. I think Man of Steel was good for what it was trying to do, but it's not personally what I would do with a Superman movie. This one, though, I think the tone and the sort of feel looks really good for a Superman movie. I always imagine Superman as more of a bright and like a vibrant and sort of I don't want to use the term goofy, but I guess goofier character. And I think just from what you've seen in the trailer, of course it's a teaser trailer, so there's going to be more to see. But I think we get that so far. I think there's that certain amount of brightness and the goofiness and the vibrance, while also there was also a real sense of like a very somber sense that you get from the trailer, a certain amount of seriousness. Um, And I do have to say, you're talking about like seriousness and stuff. I guess part of me does get a little worried that with James Gunn, I do really like the Guardians movies, especially the third one. I think the third one I think is like my third favorite MCU movie. Um, but I do get a little worried because I think in the first two Guardians movies, especially the second one, they tend to sort of the humor sort of tends to overshadow the seriousness. Like the real serious moments are always sort of overshadowed by humor. And I'm really hoping that's not the case with this movie. I'm really hoping that they actually let the seriousness be serious, and they actually let us have serious moments completely uninterrupted by humor. So I guess that is a worry that is in the back of my mind. And this honestly, also, I'm kind of a lot of people are sort of skeptical about the new DCU, but I'm actually really excited to see how they handle it because I know James Gunn and Peter, I forget the guy's name, have talked about how this universe, unlike the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is going to be more like a bunch of independent projects that are sort of put together. Like it's not going to have this one continual like look and sort of feel to it, kind of like the MCU does. But it's going to be like independent projects, like you know, that have different tones, different different genres, different feels, all sort of put into one universe, and that sort of have a narrative, that intertwine and sort of pull them together. But the films, their goals isn't to set anything up. I'm pretty sure that James Gunn actually said that he doesn't. Superman, this movie is not supposed to set up anything. Like that's not the point. The point is to just make an independent Superman movie that stands on its own instead of being the launch for a cinematic universe, even though it is. But that's not really the goal. Is to set up things. The goal is to just be an independent movie that takes place in this universe. And I think that is the best possible news you could ask for. That means we can have projects like Superman like this and then like the Batman in the same universe. I know that they're not set in the same universe, but like we could have different independent films that have their own sort of thing going on that all fit and mesh into this one universe. And that really excites me because I think that allows for more creative freedom, which allows for more unique things like this. So despite what the internet's saying, I know that there are people who love it, people who hate it. I'm on the side. I love it. I'm curious. I'm really excited to see what they do. Really excited to see what they do down the line with more of their films. But I'm really excited about this. I think this gives me hope not only for the DCU, but also just for movies in general, that we're sort of breaking off from this norm that we've created. And we're sort of going back to really independent and unique projects that have their own sort of style. And I'm glad that we're starting in the superhero genre because I think that the superhero genre, unfortunately, is kind of what started it in a way. And so I think it would be really ironic if the superhero genre is what sort of began the unwinding of that. And so I'm really excited. Let me know what you think about it. I would love to have some conversations with people. If you agree or disagree, either way, just I'd like to have some conversations with people in the comments. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. See you guys later.